What's going on? Welcome on in to the 411 podcast. I can't believe it, but we are like halfway through this month already. And I think that's crazy because it seems like just a couple weeks ago we were just getting into it. So crazy how time flies when you're having fun. That's that Janet Jackson joint. Welcome on in. If you are out there on Facebook, I want to say what's up. Thank you all for supporting. Instagram family, thank you for supporting as well. We got a lot of new people that have been checking us out. So hopefully somebody will be listening to this for the first time. If you are, thank you. Welcome on in. Twitter family, YouTube, you can check me out at Laren Gaines on YouTube, TikTok as well. You get small clips of the show on TikTok, small clips on Daily Motion as well. My D Live family, hopefully they come through tonight. You can go ahead and check me out on D Live as well. So we got a very special guest tonight. Chiquita Zachary Johnson is coming in, and we're gonna learn something. So this very special guest tonight, and I definitely want y'all to please go ahead and tag your friends, invite them on in because you never know what you're gonna get here on the 411 podcast. Every single night that I come through, I get surprised and I learn myself. So just to make sure that I'm very clear behind this, I never want to come off as I'm the expert behind anything. But what I actually do is I learn. We go through life with every single guest that come through from all different parts of the world, different parts of the country. And, we learn together. So we're going to heal. We're going to learn together. We're going to continue to do this thing like we do here on the 411. Before I get on into it, Moraz Beats from France. I want to say what's up to France. It's just amazing having an experience going over there this year. It was amazing, and I'm glad that I'm able to keep in touch with some of the people still. Moraz Beats says, doing great. Working on some promo for the project that will be out August 26th. August 26th is a good date. Between the 26th and the 28th, lots of great things come through during that time frame. The 411 podcast, I can't believe it, but we are turning 2 years old. Coming up real soon. So August is a great month. So welcome on in. So now we're gonna get into the song of the day. Very special happy birthday to Miss Madonna. Been around ever since I've been. So I remember as a kid listening to Madonna. So Ray of Light off of the Ray of Light album, Frozen, 1990. So the reason why I picked Frozen is because no matter what you go through in life, you got to make sure that you don't, remain tight, frozen, cold. Life is what it is, and it's going to take you through some ups and downs. You got to make sure that your heart is still open. So even though we go through some things, and even though we have been put in some certain situations and certain, issues with certain people, places, and things, someone like me, we have to realize that all of this here happens for a reason. So we can't get upset. We can't get upset at people. We can't hold them to any type of standards. We have to accept people for who they are. Easier said than done, people, let me tell you. Every single day I struggle with accepting people for who they are, and I got to catch myself and be like, nah, don't get upset. This is part of the process. This is part of the plan. This person was meant to do this. This person came here for this time. You know better than this. Come on now. We got to keep struggling. We got to keep, we keep struggling, but we got to keep moving on and getting away from, our mind playing tricks on us. So listen, become the master of your own mind. Don't even take it there. Frozen. Off of the Ray of Light album, Miss Madonna, released in 1998. Happy birthday to Madonna. As I continue to go through, again, I want to say what's up to Miss Bethany out there. California. Just came back from California, and what a great opportunity to be able to meet you and talk to you, real life situations, what we talk about every single day. We sat there together and had some conversations about life. So I definitely want to say thank you to everybody out there who watches and supports and checks me out. I appreciate you. And it was great to be able to get in contact with someone who has been here, someone who listens to the show, somebody who interacts with me, someone who texts me and DMs me. We go back and forth, and we have our own little burning question session. We've been doing our own little burning question session for about, almost two and a half, almost 2 years now. So it was great to interact with you. So thank you so much for coming through. Speaking of which, again, I could not do any of this without the people out there that support and appreciates the show, and I love each and every one of you. Complex Angel came through the other night, and that was a great experience. My last show before I went on vacation, I was actually blown back. Please go ahead and check out this replay. Support my friend Complex Angel. Man, we had a lot of great conversations about some of the same stuff that we getting ready to get into tonight. So listen, remember, people are put in your life for a reason, and it's to teach you so that we can go ahead and make better decisions the next time. One of my best friends from the Bronx, New York, shout out to Miss Eugenia McCall, said, Laren, you ain't got to worry. And I remember having this conversation with somebody last week. You ain't got to worry this time. Trust and believe you ain't got to worry this time, because after all of the shit that you've been through, each and every one of you out there, if you take it seriously, after all of the stuff that you have been through, you ain't got to worry, because you're going to learn how to pick them next time around. And when your energy starts to get messed up and you get those signals, those red flags in the beginning, go through enough stuff. Go through enough stuff. You'll get real smart. You'll become real smooth and hip to the game when you start to see the same shit repeat itself over and over again. You'll be a fool if you go ahead and take that street again. You already know what's down there. You see the potholes. You know all the bullshit that's down there. Why would you take yourself down that road again? Pick a new path. That Complex Angel. Please go ahead and check out that replay. I can't even say anymore. Mr. Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. Thank you so much. We get love from Iran. Craziness. I interact with people from Iran. Me, Sam, thank you for supporting as well. Let's talk about India. We have Dr. Sharita Madas that came on as well. Check her out. Great storyteller. We have Shravya coming through from India as well. Will Serve. Thank you for supporting as well. We Good Media Group. Ro Wang all the way from South Korea. For Shayla Jules. Shanti Refuge, my friend, she has 26 journals. Please go ahead and support her as well. She's been on the show a couple times. And also my hometown, Trenton, New Jersey. I want to say what's up to all my family out there. Thank you for supporting as well. And we have Mr. Farrell Higginbotham. Thank you for supporting. All right. So we ready to do this. We ready to rewind this thing here a little bit. All right. So now we spoke about this. As you go through certain things in life, when you start to understand what your purpose is, when you start to understand and know who you are, and you realize that you're on the right path, you got something going. You may not know what it is, but you got something. You got something inside you. After a while, you might start to notice that you might come under attack. We're going to talk about coming under attack tonight. When you realize that, you become aware of everything around you. I don't know if you are going through it or been through it, know somebody going through it, but are you aware of the level of interference that surrounds you? You know that if you step out here and you go left just 1 minute, or if you step out here and you go in this direction, there's going to be something's out there waiting for you, ready to attack, ready to devour, ready to just do you in. Are you aware of that? Do you know what your power is? Do you know that, okay, I know who I am, so that means that I can't go over here. I can't hang out there. I love y'all so much. We've been together and we used to ride or die such a long time back in the day. But today, the person I am today, I can no longer entertain those type of groups, those type of settings. Are you aware of the level of interference that surrounds you? As you continue to go through life and you continue to understand and know what your purpose is, you could become aware of all of that surrounds you and realize that not everybody's for you. You gotta just check it. All right, y'all. What is your first reaction when you realize that you are actually under attack? Become the master of your own mind. Let's continue to stay on this flow here. What is your first reaction? Because I'll tell you, back in the day, my first reaction was, "Oh, I'm under attack. Okay, we gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure that I do you in before you do me in." And now we going back and forth, and there's a big issue. First starts with my mouth. That's what it used to be. That was the warning you that, listen, the storm is getting ready to come. If you understand what's under here right now, these words, I'm spitting them. They so crazy. It's enough to actually, bring people to their knees. Not proud about it, but that's what I used to be. So now today, when I realize that I'm under attack, it's a whole total different situation here. So I'm asking each and every one of you out there, when you realize that you're under attack, and I'm not talking about that you deserve something, it came back to you, it's karma, you're minding your business, somebody doesn't want any, good, situations for you. You're under attack and you realize it. You're innocent. You might be helping somebody. You might be trying to, spread love in a different type of way, but it gets all twisted and somehow sounded differently. What is your first reaction when you realize that you're under attack? Mine today, totally different. I go ahead and I lace up my shoes and I start to get real quiet and I start to get with self. And I start to realize that this situation that's going on right here, this is just an experience that I'm going through right now. I'm supposed to be going through this for a reason. I'm supposed to understand and play this game right. Once I get past this, then we're going to move on. If we keep sitting here going round and round, and I want to jump in and I want to engage and I want to have an issue and I want to go back and forth, obviously I have lost the game, because now my energy is disrupted, your energy is disrupted, and now there's a whole situation going on. And once we go up, and once we go all the way up, it takes a long time to bring us down to reality. Because up here, that's not reality. We just reacting and we just all over the place. Never know what's going to go on during that time frame. So we go in and we bring this thing down here so that our energy levels aren't disrupted. We ain't saying anything out of our mouths, because we realize that the stuff that comes out of our mouth is real and it will become reality. That's a whole nother situation. Think back to when you weren't in your right mind frame and you used to just say some crazy shit and realize that this is real. This could become reality. The stuff that you say, think about your life and realize it. It becomes reality. I remember half the time I used to say, I want this, this, and this, and I can't wait till this happen, and I this and I that, and give me this and take this and do that. And now when I look at my life today, I'm like, interesting. Everything that you said that you wanted during a time of attack, all of a sudden manifests itself later on in a different type of way. Now, it ain't always going to show up the way that you spoke it out of your mouth, so you got to be very careful, because you got to be very intentional about the things that you say, because what you say is going to become reality. So the stuff that you say out of your mouth, you got to be real intentional, because if not, it's going to show up. And today I want it to show up the right way. So I watch very closely, and I got to continue to school myself and make sure that I say the right things out of my mouth. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get right on into this. Miss Jaquita is coming through tonight. Let's see.
Hello.
Hey. What's going on? Can you hear me?
How's it going?
Good. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. It's breaking up a little bit, but you're fine. I hear you.
It seems like it's a little delay. You want me to try to call you right back, or are we going to just flow with it?
Okay.
Maybe we should call back. There seems to be a little delay. Let me call you right back.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, definitely a delay. It's been a minute since we had some technical difficulties here on the show, so we're going to try to stay on this path of doing the right thing here. Want to make sure you get... There we go. All right.
Hello?
All right. It seems like we're on point now, right?
Sounds much better. Thank
All right.
you so
Here
much.
we go. Yeah. See, I was like, I want to make sure that we do this right and make sure that we get this story right. So I don't want any disruptions or any issues out there tonight. All right. Miss
Thank you.
Chiquita Zachary Johnson. So where are you calling from tonight?
Yes. Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, that's what's up. What is the weather like out there?
It's good right now. It's been raining a lot lately. But right now all is well. It's 10 o'clock. So it's good. As far as I know, it's good.
That's good.
Nice weather
I
today.
I haven't really
How about you?
well, me, I like hot weather. So anything above like 85 is great for me. The hotter the better. So I just came back from California and I was dealing with temperatures of about a low of 80. Actually, let me take that back. A low of like 90 and a high
Okay.
of about one. I'll say 110. I think it got to like 108, 109. That's the type of
Oh,
weather that I
wow.
like. So now I'm back here in Jersey and it's only like 80. So I feel the difference.
Okay.
Even though people who have been here and when I was here before, it was like it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. But after going to extreme and coming back here now, I definitely feel the difference, and it almost feels like it's fall over here now.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty hot today too. Yeah, it got pretty hot today. Not like California hot, but it was
I need that California hot. I'm missing it already.
yeah, this Georgia heat a little bit different.
Yeah, it can get real hot and muggy over there too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, all right. So, welcome on in. So now you got a lot of things going on. So I want to make sure that we take time to go piece by piece, and you introduce us and let us know exactly, what you do here tonight. So, I do a show called Reading Between the Wines, and it comes on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have different guest authors come on, and they share their experience and their story and the process during, writing their book and stuff like that. So we get a little preview tonight because I understand that you're an author as well.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm an author, children's book author. Yes.
Okay, so you got a couple books. Can you tell us their names and just a brief, quick synopsis
Listen.
about what the book is about?
Yes. So my first book is Gary the Greater Gator. I was a second grade teacher teaching the standard about the greater than and less than symbol. And I could not find the book anywhere. Of course, I found a little poem, a little song, but I am a type that loves to infuse literature and everything, and I could not find a book. And so I said, I'll write a story. And so I did, and here in Georgia, we was having all kind of layoffs and whatnot happening. And I said, you know what? I don't want anyone to try and control my money. And so I said, I am going to publish this book. And I'm so glad I did because it made me an author, gave me a platform, and I helped and coach other authors into writing their story. And then I soon came out of the classroom and I became a behavior intervention specialist in the local school district. And I was working with a lot of girls that were just mean girls
Mm-hmm.
that I soon found out, just in talking to them and things of that nature, that a lot of them just didn't love themselves. They don't like themselves. And so what they would do, they would try and put other girls down, right? And we
Yeah.
know that that does not help. Putting other people down does not really technically make you feel better about yourself or make your situation any different. So I went through a lot as a child as it relates to self-esteem. And so I wanted to write my story. I am pretty for young ladies to help them to understand, first of all, love the skin that you're in, and that true prettiness comes from having good character. So being pretty nice,
Mm-hmm.
being pretty brave, being pretty smart, those types of things. And so that's what I Am Pretty came from. And then as I continued to work with young ladies, my queens were like, wait a minute, we like the storybook, but it's not technically for us. So I wanted to write something and do something for my queens that they were asking for. So I have like a journal and all kind of activity books for for I Am Pretty. So it has the journal piece in there.
Mm-hmm.
It has some more affirmations and things of that nature. Really cool. And so that's my the third book. And I'm currently working on another book for boys because, of course, my mama's asking, hey, when we gonna get some for boys? So that's what I'm doing. You'll hear about that soon. We're working with this illustrator, and we got to get it right before we put it out. So
Absolutely.
that's what I have going on as it relates to being an author. It's just been an amazing ride,
Yeah.
amazing journey.
You said a lot of great things there. I wish I can, write things down while you were speaking. But one thing that stood out to me, which is so important to me, is when you said the things that people speak out of their mouths when they speak it against you. Um, that's something that people need to learn at an early age. The quicker that you're able to teach your children that, the easier that it will be for them in life. Because when people say things out of their mouths, I was always told, of course, as I got older, I wish I'd known this back in the day, but don't worry, because of the things that people speak out of their mouths, they're actually speaking about themselves. And in some cases, they're speaking about their mother. Now, when you say something like that to somebody, that's enough to make you step back and be like, oh, like you talking about somebody's mother. But just think, if you ain't got it, ain't if it don't have nothing to do with you and you minding your business, and somebody comes out of nowhere and they start to say something that is just incorrect, that has nothing to do with you. They're just speaking about themselves, and in some cases, they're speaking about their mothers, because when it comes to the mother, right? The mother is like God to children, because that's the first form of God that children see. So if the mother didn't prepare them properly, they'll go out there in the streets and they'll start to speak ill will about other people, and that's a representation of their mother. So what they're saying about you, like I said, it has nothing to do with you. They're speaking about themselves, and in some cases, they're speaking about their mother, which basically is the root cause of why they are interacting the way they are today. I'm done. That was told to me, and I was just like, that's real deep, and it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah. And even as I would have these parent conferences. I mean, I did get the opportunity to meet lots of moms, and it's like, oh my goodness, you're struggling in that area as well. Accepting and loving yourself as well. So I understand where you're coming
Oh
from.
yeah,
In that sense as well.
yeah. Because if the parents are struggling, right? What could they offer, and what could they
Hmm.
provide to the children if they don't know any better?
That's true.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can't give what you don't have.
Absolutely.
You know,
All right, so we got
that's
so much to still go through. So I want to make sure that we do justice and we don't rush too much. But I understand that you are a model as well.
yes. Plus size model. Have been modeling for a number of years. Just life happened. I started when I was younger, like eighth grade, and just living life and all that kind of stuff like that. Had the opportunity to do a lot of great things within the community. Like I said, grow up, and I just kind of put it down for a minute. I stopped doing it, but just in this area of influencing and all of that, and also the book as well with the platform of I Am Pretty, had me do a lot of different things to let little girls and women also know that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. So I started back doing the modeling, and of course, the influencing as well, and that's been a journey even within itself. And so, yes, sir, I've walked many runways, but I do a lot of print work, and
Mm-hmm.
just like I keep saying, just the whole influence as it relates to people send me clothes, I take pictures and do little try-ons, and just kind of give my 2 cents and just tell everybody, hey, go out and buy them, support them. A lot of times, women don't necessarily know where to shop and how to shop, and so kind of give that little tidbit of information as well, because I wouldn't, give out any information if I didn't support it. So if I don't like the clothes that I think, I like this, I wouldn't tell you to go shop there. But
Okay.
Often, I get a lot of people asking, "Hey, where you get this from? I ain't never seen this before." So definitely enjoy doing that as well.
And I understand that, hopefully I got this right, Miss Georgia Intercontinental.
Yes, Miss Plus Georgia Intercontinental. I am
Okay.
over 40,
Hmm.
so I'm Intercontinental. But yes, that is the pageant and the national title. We are going to be competing in May of 2023. So yes, I am currently the title holder for Georgia, and I'm excited about that and being able to once again have that platform and let people know, hey, beauty come in all shapes
Hmm.
and sizes.
Yeah.
So that's been great. I just really like encouraging people to love the skin that they are in. I was speaking at a school one time here in Atlanta, and a young lady said that their school had been reading my book, and she said she was in, I think she said was in the third grade, and she said that she came and thanked me for writing the book because she said that before reading the book, she really wanted to kill herself, and she was really considering committing suicide because she was being bullied, calling her fat and dark and all this kind of stuff. And she
Mm.
felt like that was her only way out. She said, but after reading your book, I just decided to love me. And that's my whole premise. That's what I do and why I do it. I just love you. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare yourself to other people. You'll never be her. She'll never be you. But you can compliment her. And, hey, I like that dress. And I still like my dress. I'm not trying to be you or anything like that. Just love who you are. There are areas about us, even the most beautiful woman that you can think of, have some stuff that they would like to change about themselves, and that's okay. We all do. But embrace who you are. If there are things that you can change, we can't change technically our skin color. We can't change our height. You know what I mean? So
Well,
those type of things, so embrace that. I just had a interview with a young lady, and I don't even know what size the young lady is. Small, slim young lady, but she was talking about how she struggled all her life for being skinny. So you never know.
wow.
You never know what other people are going through. So just love who you are, embrace who you are. And I know sometimes it's hard, but that's why I do what I do. I just try and help people to understand that and love that and find those areas about themselves that they like and shine and help them become the best them that they can possibly be.
Well, I totally agree with everything that you said, and that's some very serious stuff there. So I'm so glad that your books and your story and your message is actually helping people. That's what it's all about. But um,
Yeah.
I am going a little silly because I feel like
Okay.
I want to be silly a little bit. Now,
You be silly.
actually, before I do that, I want to say that you don't look anything like over 40. So, um, very, very
Do you know about
beautiful.
that don't crack? Okay.
Very
I
beautiful
am.
woman.
I just turned 45 this year. Yes.
I'm glad that you said it because you're not really supposed to ask a woman how old they are, but so
45.
congratulations.
I am proud, baby, because a lot of people I know did not make it. Okay. So I
Absolutely.
am grateful. I am grateful and honored, yes, to be here today. 45.
Very good. Now, that was not the silly part. Now, the silly part is you said that you can't change your skin color, but unfortunately, and this
I
is
said
that.
technically.
Oh, okay.
Technically.
Okay. Because
What
that's the
you say
problem.
technically? Because I know about the bleach cream. I get you. I know about suntan. I know about sprays.
Yeah.
I said technically.
And you know what's so crazy? That certain people will want to look so light and they'll lighten up their skin because they're trying
Or
to,
dark.
wait a minute, because they're trying to, you know, look a certain way. And the same people that you were trying to look like are turning around, darkening up their skin and all that same stuff. So what are we chasing after right now? So be exactly who
Yeah.
you are. Just like you said, love who you are and trust and believe that, we all have some insecurities and which we're going to get into
Mm-hmm.
to that a little bit later too. But um, how well do you fit into it? How well do you rock yours? How well do you just flow with it? How well do you just love being who you are and don't have to worry about what anybody else has. When you start to know who you are and love who you are, you don't have time to be worrying about what somebody else has. Because half the time, if you get an opportunity to even get something that they have, you're gonna realize I don't want this shit anyway. This is boring. This is not me. So anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
with all of that, you go around and you do some speaking and talking to, mentoring to, folks who have some of those issues, insecurities.
Cool.
And any last conferences or anything that you were part of that's memorable?
Oh my gosh. What'd you say? Conferences?
Yeah, have you ever done any of
Well,
those?
yes, yes, yes. I do stuff all the time. But I also have a show, Conversations with Quita. And it is a Facebook Live show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk to all kinds of different people, just different topics. And so it's been so much. It's been so, I would be remiss if I start trying to talk about the different conferences and things of that nature that I have been on, but it's just an honor and a privilege, period. To be able to share my story. It's so funny that oftentimes when we go through things, I haven't even told you about the story and how it came about. But we don't understand things when we're going through it. You know what I mean? Of course,
Right.
I was 5, and and it's just been a life journey, as relates to, fighting negative thoughts about myself and things of that nature. But oftentimes we go through things not just for us, but for other people, so we can help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just an honor to share my story, to help other people to understand, about true prettiness and developing your character and who you are. And so, yeah, it's been so many different things. So I couldn't even tell you, without looking at stuff, but I'm not even going to try.
Okay. That's what's up.
I'll try.
Conversations with Quita. That sounds real dope. And definitely have to go ahead and check that out.
Please check us out.
When does that come on?
Okay, so we're once a month, and you'll see publications about it. We took a break for the summer, but it's once a month. We do a live show once a month with several different people. Most times they're also authors based upon the topics that we have. But my favorite show, I'm just gonna be honest, we did last June. We did Men Making a Difference. And that was amazing. That was every week for the month of June, and it was just prolific. So those are some of the things. And our show in September is going to be focused on education and, different topics around education in unique ways of teaching your children. We also probably going to touch on a little bit of autism and things of that nature and what we can do with our students that we may feel have that they are on the spectrum, but you'll see the flyer go out. Right. Got a lot going on.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're getting ready to get into burning questions, and this is where it's going to get real interesting. So you all waited for this. If you are here now still listening, you waited for the good part. We're really definitely getting ready to go in. But before we do that, if you can just go ahead and let us know where we can follow you at. If you're on any other social media platforms, I know you said something about Facebook, you're on Instagram. So take the opportunity now to let us know where we can stay in touch with you.
Perfect. Just follow me. My name is Chiquita Zachary Johnson, and that's it. That's my handle on all social media, Chiquita Zachary Johnson. So Facebook as well as Instagram. I'm on Twitter as Queen Quita, but I'm just going to be honest, I'm not on there like I should be because there's so much going on. But Chiquita Zachary Johnson, even on YouTube, is Chiquita Zachary Johnson.
All right. So I have very special guest tonight, Miss Jaquita Zachary Johnson, and we're getting ready to do Burning Questions, which is a segment of the show where I basically flip it. And I used to put my guests in a hot seat, but the powers that be are like, like we gonna write something that's gonna cater to each and every guest that you come on. That's what basically has been happening, and we getting ready to touch a real topic that is very important to me because this really hits home. And I'm going to share some stuff with y'all tonight that maybe you never heard before. And for those of you who have, I get it. And if you can handle it, you can. If you can't, you can't. Today, what I have to say at the end of the day is either love me or leave me alone. And that's basically it. So, burning questions. Question that I have for you: have you ever been insecure? A lot of
Yes.
us have been. Some of us think that we're so secure, and we haven't been. But if anybody out there has ever been insecure, once you realize that that's the difference, that's a big difference. But I want to know what's the difference between then versus now.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, like I said, I didn't have an opportunity to share my story yet, and that this is the perfect time, the burning question. So, my story began as it relates, I'm gonna make it short. When I was 5 years old, I clearly remember my teachers bullying me. Okay, and the crazy part about it is I'm actually in education now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's much different. I'm a different teacher, and that's why I do what I do, how I do, because of my experience, my educational experience. But um, and I've always been heavy, you know what I mean? Always been heavy. And so I also love to talk. And so since I love to talk, I was a little social butterfly. I would get in trouble all the time. And back then, in the 80s, corporal punishment like touching your toes or stand on one foot or whatever, was allowed back then.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I couldn't do it too long just because, hey, I don't do this on a daily basis. So, my teacher would say stuff, look at you, you're so fat, or I may come in wearing something, I'm thinking I'm cute, and my teachers would, talk amongst themselves and her mama ought to be ashamed, she too fat for this. Or they'll go through my lunch and like, put that cookie away. You can't have that cookie, eat the apple, So just those types of stuff. So I began to feel very ugly. I began to compare myself even at 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I look like her? Why can't I look like Becky or whatever, And I began to come home and say stuff like, I'm ugly. Mm-hmm. Mama, I'm too dark. Mama, why you married daddy? Now I look like this. I look like him. My mom like, hold up, wait a minute. Where is this coming from?
Yeah, where the hell is this coming from? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, wait a minute. That's a slap in the creator's face. God don't make no junk. Where is it coming? And I understand when kids get bullied, they don't say anything because guess what? I didn't either. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even tell you why I didn't say this is what they're saying at school because guess what? These are the same people that's teaching me how to read and how to write. So what they're saying must be fact. This must be true. I am fat. I am ugly. I have a picture with my family. Literally, my mother is tickling me up under my arms because I felt so ugly. I didn't even want to open up my eyes to take a picture, And so, that's what ended up. I guess they got their goal because I began to shut down. I wasn't as social as I used to be because I felt too dark. I felt too big. I felt like my hair wasn't good enough. My dad was an addict, so I don't even know how my mom coped. I mean, she was just superwoman at this point. Now that I'm grown, mm-hmm. I'm like, good gracious, I don't know how you did it. But she had 3 girls, and so of course she's gonna get her hair done on Sunday. So by Wednesday, I'm a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, girl, you better come on. So with just her trying to just take care of us, and I'm certain that he was a hot mess as well. Just taking care of him, just running things. At 5, I had to put my own lotion on. She worked downtown, so she had to be to work at 7. So it's come on, let's get to stuff. I'm the baby. And we were stairs. So I was 5, my sister was 7, my other sister was 9. And it's like, come on, let's go. We got to get out of the house, So some days I didn't go to school as put together as I should have, and some days I did and did not. Clearly remember picture day one time, and I already know I probably stuffed the little flyer in the bottom of my book bag. I don't know, but it was picture day, and I didn't let my mama know. Lord have mercy. Oh my God, that woman had to comb my hair, and she was just a cussing and a fussing about how my mama was the worst mama in the world. I mean, it was just a mess. And I just felt ugly. I just felt like I was not good enough. And even at 5, I began to compare myself. But as I began to get older and, allowed, continue to listen to my mother, we used to go to the Shrine of the Black Madonna here in Atlanta, Georgia. My mother, even back then, believed in representation as it relates to books. And so we would get books and books that look like us. And we went to the library and just different things of that nature. And just to build us up. And I remember clearly, like when I got like in the 8th grade, before that, I would have my little group of friends and we dress alike, and I'm like, wait a minute, I like my curves. I like the way this looks. Oh, you know what I mean? So just began to understand who I am. And 8th grade, I began to start going to church even more because we went to church, but just, get involved in youth group and all this different kind of stuff and just understand that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And once again, like my mama said, God didn't make no junk. You know what I'm saying? Like he formed me in my mother's womb even before the foundation of the world. So he knew all this stuff about me, but yet he still chose me. And I understood. So I began to replace what God says about me with the ugliness, that I used to say about myself. And so understanding all of this. And so that's how I began to combat that and look at me like, I am pretty. Right. I do look, I am cute, And so just the confidence began to shine. And of course, my friends began to see it. And even though I'm with all my other skinny, cute, fine friends or whatever you call it, the confidence began to shine. And of course, the guy's like, wait a minute, Queen, you cute. What's your number? And so I had this one little guy friend, ended up calling this modeling agency. I don't know if you remember Barbara Thorne School of Modeling. And they basically called my mom like, hey, we got a referral. And so I was picked and chosen to be a part of Barbara Thorne School of Modeling. And that just kind of helped with the increase of esteem and self-esteem and that nature. And so here I am today. And like I said, the thing for me that was the change for me was understanding who I was and whose I was, to replace those negative thoughts with what the creator, the one that actually made me, says about me, and that, like I said, was the change agent for me. So here I am understanding that I love hair, clothes, nails, all of that stuff, but I take just as much time developing who I am by reading, writing, praying, and all of this, being nice to people. I take as much time doing that as I do the outward appearance. Right. And so understanding once again that true prettiness comes from within. Yeah. You want to be beautiful from the inside out. And it's not even all about the way you look on the outside, but it's really about how you treat other people, how you feel about yourself. And so that's my message. That's what I have learned. That's the difference between then and now. And I still run my mouth, but I try to be a little bit better. But they haven't silenced my voice anymore because I stopped. And I'm grateful for that experience because, like I said, even now I'm a different educator because of what I went through. And so, yeah, that's a little piece of my story.
Well, I don't even think I need to say anything else. Like it's a wrap. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. I cannot believe the stuff that you were saying, and just think that was back then in the 80s. They used to say some effed up stuff to us. I remember having some interactions with teachers as well and having them look a certain way and look at you a certain way because you don't look like everybody in the classroom. That's a whole nother story. But just think about what goes on now. I know that some people think that, well, it got a little bit easier, but there's other ways that, they can make children feel, and there's other things that they can do if it's not necessarily, speaking out of their mouths. But, you don't get called on in a classroom, stupid shit like that. Certain people get called and picked to do this and do that. So I know exactly where you're coming from.
It's a lot of ugliness. Yeah, a lot of ugliness still take place. Yeah, you're right. Even like I tell people, please don't try and prophesy what's going to happen to that kid. Like I would tell I have some colleagues that would say stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You this and you going to jail. I'm like, hold on, well, no, we're not doing that. My baby's going to college. We're not going to jail. We're going to, so it's still stupid stuff that happens because everybody don't have it together. Like I said, I'm certain that my kindergarten teachers thought they were doing me a great deal, thinking they were trying to help me as it relates to, putting me down. I have a sister, even now, she would say all kind of horrible stuff about me. And as an adult, I'm like, girl, why did you say that stuff back then? And she was like, because I thought you were so pretty and I didn't want you to be fat. Well, girl, just say that. But see, sometimes people don't even understand. Some people don't even know how to give compliments. They don't feel good about themselves. They don't know, and so stuff still happens, and that's why I'm making my business, to stop a teacher in that track. No, we're not doing that. We're not saying those types of things. And I'm grateful for the position that I have as behavior intervention specialist because I do get those opportunities to work with those students that are having behavioral challenges, and as I get back to it, so
yeah,
I'm great.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. If you can go ahead and let us know where we can follow you at, where we can get that book from, just go ahead and take some time to, sharpen us up real quick.
Well, once again, Jaquita Zachary Johnson. If you on Instagram, just type in JEQ. It's more than likely to be the first one that pop up. But also the website is Jaquita.com. So I'll just spell that out. So that's JEQUITA.com. Jaquita.com is the website. You can get the book on the website, of course. Amazon, Terry, I Am Pretty. But if you want a signed copy, you want to make sure you go to Jaquita.com. And also on Facebook, Jaquita Speaks on Facebook. But also my personal one is Jaquita Zachary Johnson as well. So all things Jaquita. So there you kept it easy. It kept it simple.
Very good. Now, is there any last thing that you want to go ahead and leave us with? Because I'm just still thrown back by you sharing your story. So I want to say thank you again for that. But any last thing that you want to go ahead and leave us with as we go on our journey?
Once again, as that baby told me, just decide to love you. No comparing, none of that. Just simply decide to love who you are. And that would be my last thing, my parting word, to love who you are. And thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story. Definitely want to hear your insecurity story as well, but I'll wait to hear that at some point.
I'm getting ready to.
And so that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get ready and do that as we wrap up and close up. But I want to, I know we're trying to leave and I don't want to stay on here too long, but what happens when, our mind plays tricks on us? Because that happens. And I definitely want to speak about that. I don't want anybody to ever think that, oh, it's just you, or oh, this person is this person is that, or why do I feel this way? Why am I so different? Each and every one of us go through these things in our own different types of ways. So even though we can sit here and say love ourselves, which we do, you should say it. And if you don't believe it, hell, keep saying it until you believe it. You eventually will. But there are some times when we still compare ourselves to other people. We compare ourselves to the car that pulls up next to us while we at the red light, whatever it is. What practices or what tools do you put in place to, get yourself back in check, to pull it back whenever that does happen? Because it could be for a second. It could be some of us go down that path and we get stuck for 2 or 3 days and then we got to go back and then we're back on track. But what do you do to make sure that you snap yourself right back in order?
I'm definitely always casting down negative thoughts because negative thoughts will always come. Like I said, I learned early on that, I speak what the Creator says about me. So one of the things that I do is I do meditate and I do read the Word of God and find out who He says I am. So that's one of the things that I do that has worked for me, to understand, like I said, what my Maker says about me. And often, as it relates to the comparing, it's been a minute for me, so I compliment, if I see, we just finished up Atlanta Curve weekend. I was around some of the most beautiful African American influencers and plus size models in the world, and I didn't compare myself at all because I can't be them. They can't be me. I celebrate them. You know what I'm saying? Girl, that dress look good on you. Oh, I love your body. I like mine too, but I'm just saying, I love your body. I'm not saying, hey, I want, if it was anything with body goes, thick girl, but honey, that body was amazing. And so it is what it is. And so I don't compare, I compliment. And so that's just me, something that I've learned to do because, hey, she got a whole different genetic makeup than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain I can get some nips and tucks and probably have that same body, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so there's things about us that we want to change it. You know what I'm saying? If you want a smaller body, do what you gotta do to make it smaller. Exercise, be healthy. You know what I mean? But if not, don't down yourself and look in the mirror. I hate my size. Guess what? Your size gonna still be the same, if not worse. You saying negative stuff. So if you want to change that, by all means do so. But if not, don't down yourself. Don't talk negative about yourself because I'm certain you're familiar with the plant study when they said all these negative words about the plant and it didn't grow and all this kind of stuff. But the same thing that they did, the same treatment as it relates to the plant, but they said positive things. Same light, same water, the plant grew and flourished. So even things such as plants get that negative word make a difference, as well as positive words make a difference. So let's be positive and speak positive about ourselves. So that's what I do.
Absolutely. It all makes sense. All of what we've been speaking about here on the 411. So, thank you so much for coming on and have a wonderful night and enjoy that nice weather that you have
Thank
out
you
there.
so much for
You're welcome.
Thank you for having me. All right.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye. Good night. All right, y'all. So there you have it. That's Miss Chiquita Zachary Johnson coming through tonight, sharing her story. Y'all, please go ahead and check her out. We're going to get on up out of here, but I want to touch base on this whole have you ever been insecure? What's the difference, now versus then? Whatever the case may be, however you want to flip it up. I would say, for me, when it comes to have you ever been insecure? Absolutely. I pretty much have been insecure most of my life. And it wasn't until, this whole pandemic happened where everything flipped around until I actually understood exactly who I was. And that's the biggest difference that I would say is because now I know who I am. Before I didn't know who I was. I was wearing many different hats. I was wearing all different types of things and fitting into this mold. And while I was sitting there fitting into this mold, being silly putty to you, being Play-Doh to you over here, allowing you to push mold and put me into whatever box you wanted to. Dress me up this way, do that. Oh, I want to hang out with this crowd. They dress this way, so I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to shop and I'm going to look like them when I'm hanging with them. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to, switch up my personality and act totally different because I want to feel accepted by them. Absolutely insecure. All over the place. And the minute that I got something that I wanted, that I asked for, I became even more insecure because I didn't think that I was worthy of having these types of things. I didn't think that I was worthy of having these friends in my life. I didn't think that I was worthy of having you loving me the way that you claim that you love me. So now I'm really up and I'm real all over the place because it's like, how the hell do I keep this and how do I maintain this? Because I'm so insecure and I don't know who the fuck I am. What happens if they discover and figure out that I still don't know who I am? Or they peel back and they realize that, yeah, he's just not put together the way that he really should be put together. No spiritual practice, no, physical fitness practice, no good mental, spiritual, no type of practice or anything going on in my world, just all over the place. You just wake up. You just wake up and you just do stuff. You don't have no routine. You don't have anything. You don't have nothing. You don't even know who you are. You don't know what's going on. Just spinning out of control. That was me. Whole pandemic comes, life gets all jacked up, hit rock bottom, if that's what you want to call it, because I feel that this was probably one of the lowest points of my life. And as I continued to rebuild myself up, something clicked in me and just said, you know what? If you're at rock bottom and you've been down here and you can't get no lower, I'm trying to make sure I don't say too much with my mouth. I'm gonna be real cool and calm about it as much as I can. People been talking about you when you was insecure, when you didn't know who you were, when you were over here, when you were over there, when you were on top, when you weren't. Now you're down here at the bottom and people really still talking some shit about you. At this point, in order for you to build yourself back up and to get to where you know you need to be, you have to just have this I don't give a fuck what you say about me attitude. And that's exactly what I had, and something just clicked in. And my spiritual practice grew, and I understood, and I knew where I came from, and I know who I am, and I continue to pray and walk and get into the word and understand and know who I am. And as I continued to build myself, I continued to get to the point where I said, I no longer care what you, or anybody else out there think of me or say about me. I'm going to continue to do what I want to do for me. So that means that you're going to go here. And guess what? Before you used to worry about what they say, now you don't. You're going to wear this and you're going to do this and you're going to, because that's what you want to do. And as I continue to get into myself, I'm like, I like this. I like this whole thing about me now. I like my whole, just love it all. It just feels real different because there's no stress now. I ain't got to worry about what you think about me. I really could care less. This is just me being who I am. And as I continue to do that, I continue to love myself, continue to like what I saw about myself when I was in the mirror. So for the first time in my life, I could actually say, you know what? They told you that you looked good before. They told you that you was this, and you didn't even really believe it. So many people said all of these great things about you and you didn't believe it. But now I actually believe it. So now when I believe it, topped on what somebody else believes, it just takes me to a whole nother level. So all over the place before, didn't know who I was. Now that I know who I am, I'm very secure. And again, we have this I could care less of what anybody else thinks about me because I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing for me. And when I continue to do what I'm doing for me, now it comes out of love because I love myself. Now I can love you the right way. And I can get into this whole thing and we continue to go back and forth. You heard it tonight. You heard about what Jaquita said. I talked to you about what you speak out of your mouth. I've realized that karma plays a big role in it. When you start to realize that you've done some jacked up things in your life, and you need to switch this thing around and turn it around, and the stuff that you speak out of your mouth becomes reality. Once I've realized that, you'll start to zip it up a little bit. You'll start to be quiet a little bit. You'll start to be very careful about how you interact and what you say about people. Because remember, what you put out there is going to come back. And when it comes back, I want it to come back in a good form this time around because I'm putting love out there. And let me tell you, the big thing about it is that it comes back so 10 times more. You put love out there and you do it genuinely and it's from the heart. Trust and believe that it's going to come back in a way and it's just going to surprise you out of no type of way. You wouldn't even believe it. It's those days when you don't feel like you can make it. You don't feel like this and you just look up and you look at yourself in the mirror and you be like, I got it. I understand it. I know it. Anyway, 411 podcast. Listen, I want to say thank you so much. And that's just the little thing. That's not even digging into the whole situation. We got so much more to give. And I'm going to continue to open up and share my story. And special thank you to the wonderful guests that come through every single night sharing their story. The collaborations are just amazing. And yeah, you never know what you're going to get on here. You never know what type of breakthroughs. You never know who's going to get whatever out of the situation. So thank you. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, D Live, Twitch, Daily Motion, wherever you stream, watch the replay from. I just want to say thank you so much. Please like, comment, share, tag, let your friends know. Very special thank you to the people out there on Facebook for sharing. I appreciate you. And I love each and every one of you out there. Again, the man that you see here today definitely was not here yesterday, the day before. And as we continue to go back and think about it, I'm so thankful that I'm here today. I'm so thankful that I learned how to, and it's not 100%, but I always say become the master of your own mind because your mind will play tricks on you. Half of the stuff that you think that people are saying about you is starting with you first. And half of these people ain't even thinking these things about you, but you're sitting here thinking it. And because you're thinking it and because you're saying it, because you're speaking it, just like we talked about, it becomes reality. And then now somebody is speaking about you because you're sitting there thinking about it and you're speaking about it and you're talking about it. So I learned all of that. I need to become the master of my own mind. If I'm going to think things, I'm going to think positive thoughts. And I'm going to walk in it and I'm going to believe it and I'm going to say it and I'm going to rehearse it and I'm going to go through it until it becomes my reality in my world. Remember, what you got going on versus what they got going on versus what the other has going on has absolutely nothing to do with it. You. All of that stuff is outside of you. Be you, live in your own world, follow your own path. Don't worry about what she got going on. Don't worry about what he got going on. Become the master of your own mind. I'm sharing my story with you with Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal. It's a 30-day journal towards a healthier mindset. This ain't easy. I need tools. I need people. I need places. I need to be able to go to certain areas. I need my certain things lined up that's going to work for me to help me continue to be on this healthier mindset. I ain't going to go to no place that's going to put me into a situation to make me want to turn up and be the old me. No, I'm going to put myself into situations that are nourishing and inspiring to me. I don't know what yours is, but maybe volume 1.5, the remix journal, could be a little extra tool that you take and help you along your journey as well. I'm sharing a little bit about my past. I'm telling you where I'm at right here today. And I'm also writing some good, positive affirmations about my future and my life and where I want to see myself go. And I leave it open for you to go ahead and do it as well because it is a remix journal. 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. I want to say thank you so much to everybody out there who come through and support the show tonight. Thank you so much. Miss Bethany, I see you out there. Thank you so much. What a great inspiration you are as well. Continue to post the things that you post on your page. Y'all, please go ahead and check out my friend, Cookies and Pie _1 on Instagram. We've all been through it. We all go through some things. And when you can look at it on the outside and say, okay, I've seen this before. Now I know how to navigate through it because I've overcome that. And if I didn't overcome it, I'm going through it right now. But I know that I'm going to get over to the other side because I know better today. Become the master of your own mind. And don't worry about it. Take it one day at a time, live your life, and you'll be fine. That's just the only thing that we can possibly do. Live in a moment. Don't stay stuck in the past, and don't worry too much about the future because we ain't supposed to know all of that stuff. It's already written. Just be that avatar and continue to walk through this life and live every single day like it should last, and you will be pleasantly surprised. Easier said than done, but I try to live my life like that each and every day. All right, y'all. So I will see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reading Between the Lines. We're going to turn up a little bit. We're going to wind down. Wind down Wednesday. It's been a minute. So grab your glass, grab your bottle, whatever you do. Come back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Invite your friends in. We definitely going to do the thing tomorrow. And on that note, I will see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Have a good night. Take care.